To understand our world, we must look through the lens of why.
You can't read a book anymore, can you? Honestly, think about it. That's not laziness. That is actual neurological damage. Welcome to another Explainer, where we take complex data and break it down. Today, we're diving into what is arguably the largest, completely uncontrolled global experiment on human cognition in history. And the crazy part? It's happening right inside your head. Seriously, try to sit down with a physical book right now. You read a page, maybe two, and suddenly you find your hand instinctively reaching for your device, right? We beat ourselves up over this, thinking we're just lazy or undisciplined. But as we're about to see from some staggering neurobiological research, your brain is actually fighting a losing battle against its own rewired impulses. Section 1. The popcorn brain epidemic. When your mind starts mimicking a microwave. Let's dive right in and identify the true culprit behind your vanishing attention span. So, what exactly is popcorn brain? Well, it's a brilliantly descriptive term coined by researcher David Levy back in 2011. It's used to describe this mental condition where your brain becomes so incredibly overstimulated by an endless stream of reels, shorts, and notifications that your thoughts just constantly pop from one topic to another. The psychology here is literally hacking your biology. Every single notification or quick swipe releases a tiny little burst of dopamine. You are actively training your brain to crave the next hit of novelty, which makes sustained, quiet focus almost impossible. Let's put some numbers to this because the data is wild. According to a massive 2025 survey published in the International Journal for Innovative Research in Science and Technology, which polled over 1,300 people, an alarming 61.8% of participants explicitly stated they now find it genuinely difficult to concentrate on even basic tasks. And here is where we really see the dependency loop in action. 80.1% of those exact same people reported feeling physically nervous, restless, or anxious if they couldn't check their notifications immediately. Just think about that for a second. They aren't just easily distracted. Their physical bodies are biologically anticipating the next digital ping. If you're wondering where all of this is coming from, notice the overwhelming dominance of social media as our primary distractor. Based on data from the American Journal of Psychology and Brain Studies, social media accounts for a whopping 62% of our daily distractions. This constant context switching and cognitive overload is literally causing over 16% of students to lose focus on a task in under 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Section 2. Rewiring your reward system, the neurobiology of the endless scroll. Let's look at how this constant digital stimulation actually alters the biological hardware of your brain. Here is the fundamental problem. Your brain, quite frankly, does not discriminate between natural offline rewards, like reading a good book or having a deep conversation, and the synthetic, high-frequency dopamine hits delivered by your phone. When you consume algorithm-driven content, your brain's reward centers, specifically the ventral striatum, just light up like a Christmas tree. Over time, your brain gets so accustomed to these rapid synthetic rewards that natural, slower rewards simply cannot compete anymore. And the scale of this rewiring is absolutely staggering. A massive systematic review published in the Psychological Bulletin looked at data from nearly 100,000 brains. What did they find? They linked short-form video use to measurably poorer cognitive performance. We're talking a negative 0.38 correlation for attention span and a negative 0.41 for inhibitory control. In plain English, nearly 100,000 brains showed a crippled ability to sustain focus, a severe drop in suppressing impulsive reactions, elevated anxiety, and clear underactivation in the prefrontal cortex, which is the exact part of your brain responsible for deep thought and planning. Section 3. The rise of digital anhedonia. Why real life feels unbearably boring. All of this rewiring leads us directly to our next major issue. Enter digital anhedonia, a term highlighted by neurologist Dr. Shaheen Lakan. Now, to be clear, this isn't clinical depression. Instead, it's a selective blunting of your reward responses. Real-life analog events suddenly feel completely flat or just unbearably boring. Why? Because your brain's nucleus accumbens has been literally desensitized to normal, everyday pleasures after so much digital overexposure. Let's use an analogy here. Your brain is essentially a microwave that has completely forgotten how to slow cook. It expects absolutely everything to pop in 30 seconds or less. So when you're faced with the slower, deeper engagement required by offline activities, like working on a complex project or just taking a quiet walk in the park, Your brain simply doesn't know how to process it anymore. Section 4. Doom scrolling and digital fatigue, a generational toll. We are seeing the symptoms of this epidemic hit every single demographic out there. When we look at this data from Harmony Healthcare IT, the generational divide is honestly pretty stark. Gen Z is spending a staggering 6.5 hours a day on their phones alone. That is 323% over the expert recommended limit of 2 hours. And when you add in laptops, tablets, and TVs, their total screen time pushes way past 9 hours a day. All of this sheer volume of screen time drives compulsive behaviors, like doom scrolling. 51% of Gen Z and 46% of millennials report doom scrolling regularly. Researchers have noted this behavior is heavily linked to specific personality traits, namely high neuroticism and low conscientiousness. Plus, it brings some terrible physical side effects. We're seeing huge numbers of young people reporting eye strain, neck pain, and chronic sleep disruption. To make matters worse, the mental health implications are severe. A major 2022 meta-analysis found that depression risk actually increases by approximately 13% for every single additional hour of daily social media use. The more you scroll, the higher the risk goes. Section 5. Reclaiming your attention. The cure is in your settings. Okay, so here is the real-world payoff to understanding all of this. Your restlessness, your impulsivity, and that constant craving for novelty, they are not character flaws or laziness. You can stop confusing constant engagement with productivity right now, because this is a neurological side effect. And most importantly, it's reversible. The cure isn't in a prescription bottle, it's literally in your screen time settings. You can actually restore sensitivity in your reward system by exercising conscientiousness. Step 1. Control your notifications. Just turn off those algorithmic alerts that constantly drag you back. Step 2. Establish firm, no screen times. Step 3. Practice offline behavioral activation. Basically, force your brain to do things that require delayed gratification, like diving into a hobby. And Step 4. Develop basic digital hygiene. Protect your sleep and keep your phone out of your bedroom entirely. As neurologist Dr. Shaheen Lakan so perfectly warns us, our patients are not disengaged by choice, they are disengaged by design. These platforms are neuroadaptive engines intentionally built to hijack your attention. Your distraction isn't an accident, it is a highly engineered product of their algorithms. So the final question you really need to ask yourself the next time you blindly reach for your phone is this. Are you controlling your algorithms, or are they controlling your neurobiology?
Why settle for shallow facts? Join the intellectual rebellion. Subscribe to Why Lens now.